You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts.
All right, Black and White Sports supporters. Well, today was the day that Mike McCarthy officially became the head football coach. Well, I guess it was a few days ago, but he was introduced as the head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers. You guys know, if you watch this channel, I love this hiring. I think this is a guy the Browns should have been all over. And, of course, Mike McCarthy took his name out of the running pretty quick in those neck of the woods and in a lot of other neck of the woods. Really, the only other job he showed an interest in was the Titans. All right. I heard a statistic, actually two statistics today about Mike McCarthy. One of them's about the Steelers. The other one's about Mike McCarthy. The Steelers, for the last, I believe it was 8 seasons, have had a 23rd ranked offense or worse in the National Football League. Mike McCarthy has coached for 18 seasons. He's had a top 5 offense 10 times. The Pittsburgh Steelers are about to be a lot better on offense. And I'm not sure people understand that. I'm not sure people understand that after he was let go by the Packers, Mike McCarthy took that time off to go into the lab, and he immersed himself into all of the newer concepts that were used in the National Football League. And then in 2023, Dallas had the top 5 offense in the National Football League for Dallas. And, I've seen people talk about things like clock management or just boneheaded play decisions, things of that nature. I just watched a future Hall of Fame coach in the AFC Championship game. After taking over for the Broncos and years of them struggling, years and years of the Broncos struggling, in 2 seasons, take them to the AFC Championship game, and I'm screaming at the TV for him to take a field goal, and he made a boneheaded decision. I watched Ben Johnson, him and Mike Vrabel are the 2 leading candidates for Coach of the Year. I've screamed at the TV during the playoff game for him to kick a field goal, I think 3 times. He didn't do it. So, boneheaded decisions, there's not a coach in the league that does not make them from time to time. It's part of the scenery. All right? I think there's going to be a lot of Steelers fans that are going to be shocked by how this is going to go with Mike McCarthy. I said I think they win 11 games. I think they could win a playoff game next year. Maybe more than that. A lot of it depends on the roster. We talked about 2 things after they lost in the playoffs. Mike Tomlin's insistence on these old school, antiquated, slow, sluggish offenses. Well, you just took care of that by hiring McCarthy. And the other problem is the lack of playmakers on this team. Until they address playmakers on offense and get some speed in there and some real talent at wide receiver and at tight end, and I don't want to hear Freiermuth and Washington. That's a bunch of just slow guys and no, some real dynamic guys in there. Then, this roster's not real good with the Steelers on offense, and they're underachieving on defense. Mike McCarthy.
I understand and embrace the responsibility, the privilege, and the weight that comes with this stewardship. This city, this franchise, this fan base means the world to me. Because Pittsburgh's my world, and it's just awesome to be back here.
He's from Pittsburgh. I think this is one of the best stories going into next year. McCarthy talking about his folks.
Mike, I wanted to ask you, what was that like after you got the phone call from the Steelers to be able to call your parents and share that news with them?
It's not fair, Teresa. Yes, no, it was a great phone call. I couldn't get through the introduction, so I think you know how that went. So.
I mean, he can't wait to take this job. The big question, and the biggest part of this video is us talking about quarterbacks probably, on Aaron Rodgers coming back.
Mike, Tim Benz over here from Trib Live. Question, just a football one for you. I'm not asking this from any other perspective except your own personal preference. In your best case scenario, do you want Aaron Rodgers back as your quarterback next year?
That's nice the way he asked that, right? That was slick. But I mean, definitely. I mean, I don't see why you wouldn't. But I think just like anything, knowing Aaron long enough, going through seasons, I think when players, to see Mel Blunt here, I mean, when guys are up at that stage of their career, they need to step away and decompress it. I think that's very important. The game is so emotional, what these men commit to and what they put into it. I think that time away is important, and I have spoken to Aaron, and so that's really where we are there. But I was able to sit back and watch the games. I watched most of the Pittsburgh games on TV, and I thought he was a great asset for the team.
Okay. And we do know that, by the way, Mike McCarthy will call the offensive plays. We know Aaron Rodgers is going to take a month or so to decide whether or not he's coming back. But people forget, when Aaron Rodgers was drafted, he sat for a long while. And Mike McCarthy rebuilt Aaron Rodgers. They worked on his footwork. They changed some things involving his mechanics. And he really was integral in sort of building Aaron Rodgers into the quarterback he ended up being. And then I've talked about before how good Dak Prescott was with Mike McCarthy. Well, you got a quarterback on this roster, and I don't talk about him enough. I talked about him a lot when he was drafted, and it's a kid I like a lot. I would love to see get a shot. His name's Will Howard. And yeah, I'm a Michigan fan, but he's out of OSU. I don't care. I like the kid. He's big. He's got a good arm, strong arm. He's athletic. He can move. He's got real potential, folks. Late round pick or not. He's got real potential. And McCarthy, one of the reasons he got this job is he sold them on developing young quarterbacks. Check this out. This is what he said. Quote, this is what Art Rooney said. He likes Will Howard. He thinks Will Howard has tremendous upside. He's looking forward to working with him, Rooney said. Obviously, he feels like Mason can be a contributor. We'll have to sit down and discuss where Aaron is if he decides to come back. Whether that all makes sense. I think Mike was very comfortable with the quarterback room and the possibilities with the quarterback room. In particular, the fact that we have a young quarterback on the roster in whom he sees upside. That's interesting. Like, he likes Will Howard. So you got to think, if Mike McCarthy can get in there and work with Will Howard, I think Will Howard can start. And if he's got mechanic issues, any of that kind of thing, he will be able to address those in a way that Mike Tomlin couldn't. And by the way, this is not a shit on Mike Tomlin situation. I mean, if Mike Tomlin hit the market right now, or if he would have decided to have coached again, John Harbaugh and Mike Tomlin would have been the two top names on the market. And if whenever he decides to coach again, he'll go right to the top of the list, especially at his age. But in this day and time, offense, offense, offense. And I think Mike McCarthy's about to shock a lot of people. I really do. And I don't know. I mean, I look at the state of the AFC North. If the Steelers can address their roster, and again, their roster is an issue. But if they can address some of the issues on the offensive side of the ball with their roster, They can win the North. All right. They can win the division, and they can actually win playoff games. On offense, this team's going to look a lot different. A lot different. Tell me what you think. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.